Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of correlation and regression, we will be considering the price developments so far, which have been quite volatile in comparison to the last couple of sessions. We are seeing of late that the volatility is returning to the markets, and we are seeing these moves which are wider, and we can indeed try to profit from these increased volatility. So let us now head to the JForex 4, the newly released trading platform from the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the USD JPY chart with the each candle predefined at 5 minutes. We have this Donchian channel 24 and 48 in place to get us the price range for last 2 hours and 4 hours respectively. The SMA 12 and SMA 24 is there for figuring out the average price prevailing over 1 hour and 2 hours respectively. If we consider the USD JPY's charting from earlier in the Asian trading session to now all the way to the North American trading session, here you can see that it has been hovering closer to the 133 level. In yesterday's session, I had talked about the possibility of USD JPY going towards 133 and eventually even beyond that. That did materialize in today's trading session early in the day during the Asian trading hours. After that, this correction happened of around half a percentage point, and then again resumption with around the same high retested, and then decline again to find the support around the same level. So on these levels, it is a consolidation which is going on with this extended range. If we look at it from the medium term perspective, you can see that this is the phase where the 132.5 is acting as a near-term support for the USD JPY, and we are seeing these highs, newer highs being higher than these prior highs. Even these high formed earlier in the European trading session was slightly higher compared to the high formed in Asian trading session, and of course that was in turn higher than the high found during the yesterday's North American trading session. Now the question is whether there is a new high going to be formed in this North American trading session. To that answer, I think the possibility at the current levels looks remote. We haven't seen any sustained buying around the current lows, so I think we will have to allow more time. And also, the fact is that today is the Friday, and even though we might be saying thank god it's Friday and we can sign up from the market in a couple of hours, but that might be the reason why not many market participants will be enthusiastic to bet on new positions now late into the week, and maybe that can also be considered as one of the reasons why we are not really likely to see a fresh swing high being formed higher than this prior swing high in the North American trading session, and things might remain sideways with USD JPY keeping this support zone intact, and it might continue to consolidate around these 132.5 levels on the lower side. Similar price formation is there for most other currencies. We haven't really seen any runaway move on either side. The euro, after having touched 1.092, has found some resistance on the higher side, and it has also now been consolidating with a slightly bearish bias in today's trading session. Even after the start of the US session, the North American session, we saw this sharp decline of around 40 pips, and right now it is close to the day's lowest point. So, all in all, we can say that the range has expanded, but the momentum is not really there. So we will have to trade using these enlarged range, but at the same time, we will also have to keep in mind that the larger picture is of consolidation. Now that on the hourly charting, we are seeing the Euro USD back toward this prior swing low. We will have to be cautious while shorting it on the lower side. As I said, there is absence of a strong trend, so it is not really advisable to short it on the lower side. Rather than that, right now on these lower levels, if it holds for next couple of hours, we can even indeed think about buy trade with the expectations of a climb towards 1.09. So that possibility is there. So we will have to try to exploit the range and go for the long trade closer to the support zone, closer to the lower point of this range, while again looking to initiate the sell trade, short sell trades whenever we see that the resistance is keeping the euro USD's upside momentum in check, and there is some correction anticipated in next coming hours. So that possibility is there to be exploited. Right now, if we consider the euro USD charting, it has been making higher, lower lows and lower highs. So even this low was lower than this prior low. I think we should allow it to consolidate for next couple of hours, and if it holds the ground above or close to this 1.085 range, we can indeed take our chances for a possible move towards 1.09. So the euro is also in a bearish trajectory in today's trading session. JPY was looking bearish earlier in the day. Right now it is simply in a consolidation phase with slight bias still on the bearish side. Let's now consider another European currency of Great British Pound, GBP. The GBP has been having better momentum in comparison to the most other currencies while trading against the US dollar. The same thing can be true in today's is seemingly true in today's session as well, where it has found support on the lower side and it has rebounded quite fast, a lot faster in comparison to the euro, and it is slowly and steadily inching toward these immediate swing high from just slightly lower than 1.24. So if we have to consider these price formations, we have to keep in mind that GBP has been one of the most bullish currencies for last couple of sessions. So today also it is not really in a bearish zone. Even though this correction is ongoing, I think we still will do well to keep these trades with focus on buy. The buy on dips is a better strategy to adapt in this environment for GBP. Though we will have to keep in mind that the intraday session it has the formation of lower lows and lower highs. So only when there is a fresh low being made, we should try to go for a long trade, or when we see that a fresh swing high gets in place. If the next swing high happens to be above 1.24, then in course of time, as and when we will see a fresh correction, we can even try to initiate the new trade with the expectations of a new low being a higher low. So the GBP is less bearish in comparison to the euro. Now let's consider Asia Pacific currencies, AUD first. The AUD has also seen these topsy-turvy moves earlier in the day. It was climbing up, then it gave up almost all of those gains and declined around 1 percentage point, only to find support on the lower side and reversing course with a rise above 0.67. But it hasn't been able to sustain the momentum on either side. So here also the formation from the medium term perspective is of higher highs and higher lows, and that makes our job a bit difficult because today in intraday terms the things are more in favor of bears, but from the medium term the things are more in favor of the bulls. So I think all we can do is trade using the existing range. When we try to go for a short sell trade closer to the higher point of the range and a buy trade closer to the lower point of the range. So if now in next couple of hours AUD USD again climb back to this immediate swing high, the immediate resistance, we can then start looking for fresh short selling opportunities. If it is unable to sustain and starts to show the signs of a imminent decline, right now it is in a no man's land. It is not really favorable for buy or sell in the at the current juncture. Maybe if it against decline and holds the lower level, then we can even think about a buy trade. But right now things are a bit fuzzy. but still it is looking less bearish in comparison to the euro, and then we have to compare whether it is less or more bearish on GBP. In comparison to the GBP also, the AUD is seemingly in a better situation. So the AUD becomes the first choice for any kind of a buy trade, while the GBP comes second and the euro comes third. If you are trying to bet on the dollar strength, then the JPY is the best choice to short. USD JPY is the best choice to go long. Things are not that clearer in today's trading session. Things are a bit complex. The NZD USD has also found support and reversed sharply after making this low at 0.6236, and at the moment it looks pretty much poised to rise beyond this immediate swing high of 0.6274. So that possibility is quite strong. And if we consider its price formation from the medium term, it has found support on the lower side. So here you can see that it has been making these higher highs and higher lows. So in light of these developments, we have to keep looking for the buy trades in the medium term perspective. But for the intraday perspective, things are more complicated. Here, as the NZD has already climbed up toward this immediate swing high, I think we will have to shell the idea of buying it on the current levels. Maybe we will have to allow it some more time to consolidate, and if it is able to hold the ground, again, maybe we can think about the new initiation of a long trade, but right now is not really the time to initiate a new trade in the current environment. For USD CAD, the 1.35 has acted as a near-term support. Even in today's trading session, we have seen the USD CAD rebounding from that level, only to see again the selling on the higher side. Right now, it is not really far off from these immediate swing low, and I think, given the scenario of CAD being one of the most bullish currency trading against the US dollar, even in today's trading session, we will do well to keep looking for the opportunities to go short. Even in this current environment, the formation has been of lower highs and lower lows in the intraday. So, from intraday as well as from the medium term perspective, the USD CAD is in a clearly bearish environment with the possibility of a move below 1.35, looking like a strong possibility. So, the CAD is apparently the best placed currency to go long. If you are expecting the dollar to remain on the back foot, the USD CAD is a good choice to initiate a short sell trade. It is apparently even better placed than the AUD or GBP for that matter. Let's see what's the story for USD CHF. CHF has also declined substantially from 0.9177 to 0.9115, and if we have to consider the starting from the medium term perspective as well, it has been making these lower lows and lower highs. Even in today's trading session, there has been these fresh low being formed for the USD CHF. So CHF is also one such currency which is having a better momentum against the US dollar. It is also trying to appreciate, so that makes it lot more bullish in comparison to the GBP, or for that matter Euro and AUD, along with NZD in today's trading session. It is more in line with the USD CAD, and I think in this scenario, it is better for us to look for short selling opportunities, even though it has declined substantially already. But still, the momentum is more favorable for the continuation of this bearish run, and we can put it just behind the CAD, if not ahead of the CAD, in its bull run against the US dollar. So you can keep looking for the opportunities to go short in these USD CAD and USD CHF, with USD CAD having slightly more momentum on these lower side with the possibility of a breach below 1.35 looming large. So we saw these major currencies with the spectrum of possibilities, with CAD being the most bullish of all these major currencies trading against the US dollar, whereas JPY is still bearish, and now in today's trading session, purely for the intraday, the euro is also looking bearish. So these two currencies are there for initiating the short sale trades. Now let's see what's the story for equity segment. In equities, we had seen substantial climb in yesterday's trading session, and that sentiment is prevalent in today's session as well, where we have seen the Dow successfully climb past the 33,000 mark, which was psychologically important. Now that we have this breach above this prior swing high, I think for next couple of days, not only in today's trading session, but for next couple of sessions, we are likely to have this momentum in a bullish manner. So we can keep looking for opportunities to go long whenever there is a dip, there is some correction, and the things seems to stabilize. And if the US equity indices are able to hold above prior swing low, then we can indeed look to initiate the new long trade. Right now, it is a difficult call because if we buy currently, the stop loss is going to be quite wide. So that is because the immediate swing low is now quite far, around 1 percentage point away. So that increases the amount of risk which we will have to take. Else, we do have a formation of higher highs and higher lows. So there is not much to debate in terms of its momentum. The only thing that can be debated is whether to buy now or to sit on the sidelines. That I think depends on your risk appetite. The S&P 500 is also having a strong run in today's trading session. It has also climbed up substantially with these formation of high highs and high lows being made for last couple of sessions. The possibility of S&P 500 climbing towards 4,100 level is really strong with these up moves and sustained momentum. All we can do is keep looking for the opportunities to go long, and we have to compare the S&P 500 with Dow Jones, whether to buy Dow or whether to buy S&P 500. For that, we will need to do a comparison of the timeline. For Dow, the swing high formed at 12:15 GMT. For the S&P 500, it formed slightly later on. There is not much of a difference in terms of the timeline, with Dow having slightly advantageous timeline. For the Nasdaq, things have been less bullish, but it is also in bullish trajectory now. So for today's trading session, the Nasdaq is coming at third place in terms of its bullish momentum. It is bullish, that is not in question, but we have better momentum for Dow Jones Industrial Average, followed by the S&P 500, then comes Nasdaq. So if we see these indices correcting a little bit and holding above the prior swing low, then we can start looking for the opportunities to go long, which is likely to come not in today's trading session but on Monday, because the ship has already sailed in today's trading session. So that's all from my side for today's trading session, where we covered these price developments in the forex currency crosses involving the US dollar. We mainly see major currencies, and after that, the equity segment, where we saw that the momentum is in favor of the buyers, in favor of the bulls, with Nasdaq having a substantial bullish momentum in today's trading session. So thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous time ahead. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.